Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm here to show you the simplest and the easiest smoky eye of life. You're just gonna need two products to do this look. The first is gonna be a cream or a stick eyeshadow, and the second is a synthetic blending brush. This one is from LA Girl and it's the 203, and I will leave all the products and their links where you can buy them in the description box down below, so please check that out. So I wanted to do this look because this can serve as the base for any sort of smoky eye that you want to do. If you learn how to do this, you can pretty much do any smoky eye. This is just one of those looks that's really gonna make you understand the basics, and if you catch hold of the basics and you really understand them, it's gonna be very easy for you to do smoky eyes. So let's start. I'm just gonna take my crayon. This one is from Rimmel. It's the Scandalized eyeshadow stick in the shade Bootleg Brown. It's a dark brown shade, and I'm just gonna go and firstly make sure that I really cover my lash line with it and draw a really fat line. And I'm not gonna go above the crease with it. I'm just gonna keep it below the crease, and you don't have to be really precise with it. Just make sure that the product is on there, and take your blending brush and start to do motions like these, like pat and drag downwards. That's gonna help spread out the product, and there is no like extreme skill level involved in this look. Pretty much anyone can do it if you have the right products. Once you have that blended out, you can see that it's already starting to come together. And by the way, if you see any sort of crepiness on my eyelid, that's because the allergy that I had on my face, it's right now on my eyelids. So my eyelid skin is peeling right now, which is why you might see some. Ignore if you do. So once I have the product blended out like that, I'm not gonna leave it like this, because if I close my eyes, you can see that the edges are not perfectly blended, and that's where we're gonna work. So what you want to do next is take off all the product that you might have on your brush. Just wipe it off on the back of your hand or something, and just make sure the brush is clean, and then go in to blend the edges. And because it's a cream, the technique that you're gonna need to blend this out is gonna be a little different than with, let's say, powder eyeshadows. Because powders, you can go like this and they tend to blend out nicely. If you're using like natural hair bristle brushes, they work really nicely with powders. But with creams, I tend to find that synthetics work better. So as you can see, because this was the portion where my like the crepiness was, the product sticks to it, and that's why it's looking a little bit darker there. So let me just even it out. And also adding more product is gonna help with the intensity of the color, because as you can see, as we blend it out, the color starts to get a little lighter. And if you want to retain that intensity, you can add more product and then do the same techniques. Now, if you have small eyes, this is another trick to make them look a little bigger. If I were to stop the blending right where my crease starts, my eyes would look like little beads. So anytime I do a smoky eye, I make sure that I blend above this portion, like this fold of skin that you see here. I make sure that I put some product, some kind of like depth around this area. Otherwise my eyes tend to look really small. You just need to figure out where the eyeshadow placement suits your eye and eye shape best. That's how it's looking right now. I'm just gonna catch on the other eye till this point. And with these kind of looks, when you're using cream products, make sure that you do one eye at a time, because otherwise if you put on this product on both of your eyes and then start to blend out, let's say the right one, the left one is gonna start to set and you're not gonna be able to blend it nicely. So I'm just gonna do my left eye now, very messily. Just make sure that the product is on there. Whoops. And when I initially put on the product, I make sure that I go right in between my lashes, because otherwise the skin between the lashes is gonna peek through. Definitely make sure that I go above the crease. So makeup is just something that you're gonna have to practice a lot to make it reach the point where you're completely satisfied with it. You can't like practice one or two times and then give up because it just isn't looking the way you want it to. It definitely is something that you need to practice for. And again, taking off all the product and going over the edges. So as you can see, while blending I messed up a lot of this area. I already had my base completed before I started, so I'm just gonna take my concealer palette from NYX, take a little bit on a flat brush. This is a Vega eyeshadow brush. It's a synthetic brush, so I like it for cream products. And I'm just gonna clean up under here. You don't have to do this, and even I'm gonna go over it with the same eyeshadow. I just wanted a clean edge, which is why I did this. So next I'm gonna take the same crayon and go underneath my lash line. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you all the steps so you can see what you like and what you don't. That was really messy. And I'm just gonna take a brush like this maybe. It's a synthetic brush, a random one from one of those 12-piece packs that you can get on Amazon. I'll link a few down below. So if you don't want your lower lash line to be this intense, you can create somewhat of a thinner line and blend it out with a precise brush, because this is a little fluffier as compared to something like a pencil brush, let's say. So if I were to draw a thinner line and blend it out with this brush, I wouldn't get as intense of a look as this is right now. So it just depends on what kind of a look you're going for when you're choosing your products and tools. Like with this product, I can create a very subtle look and a very dramatic look, as you can see. And also products can do only so much. What you create with it depends on you and the kind of tools that you use. So tools, in my opinion, are equally as important, if not more important, than the products that you use. So that's done. And there are so many things that you can do to amp up this look, which could be, you could add a black line just near your lash line and blend it out with a pencil brush. That's gonna make your upper lash line look even smokier. Or you could finish this off with a matte brown eyeshadow, like pat a matte brown and blend it out. It's gonna set the cream and also make it last longer, and also it's gonna make the color pop even more. Or you could press on a loose pigment in the middle of your eye. If it's a lighter color, it's gonna make your look transform into a halo smoky eye if you pat on a lighter pigment or an eyeshadow, doesn't matter. or you could finish this off with a bronze eyeshadow or a shimmery brown. So there are so many things that you can do. You can even fill your lash line with the black or a brown or even a nude. Basically, if you put a nude, your eyes are just gonna look bigger, which actually is what I'm gonna do. I have this Maybelline Lasting Drama pencil. It's the same one that I had in the blue shade that I completely gave such a negative review of. But as it turns out, it happened because the lid, like the cap of the pencil, was broken, which is why it dried down, and I didn't realize that, so sorry. But I'm just gonna put this nude pencil in my lash line. So as you can see, that makes your eyes look really big. And also something else that you can do is, actually I'm just gonna show it to you. I wasn't planning on doing it, but now that we're here, let's just go all the way. I'm gonna take this palette that I created myself. I'm actually gonna take another synthetic brush. It's from the same 12-piece pack that I mentioned, and I'm gonna take the Kiko single shadow in the shade 5. It's a dark matte brown. It's this one right here. On a blending brush, and tap off the excess, press it on my eyelid, and do the same kinds of motions as we were doing with the cream. Very gently blend this out. You don't want to put too much pressure because it can become really intense and can become really difficult to blend out as well. And this is what it's gonna look like if you pack a matte brown on top of it. It's not gonna alter too much, but it's gonna set the cream and it's gonna make it last really long. And let's just say that you were to transform this into a halo smoky eye. I would suggest getting something like these. This is the Kiko water eyeshadow. I've shown this in a previous video. I think it was the video that I posted in January. It's a very soft formula, and you can take this on your finger and pat it on the very center of your eyelid, and it's gonna catch the light and look really pretty. Or you can use something like this. It's the Kiko Cream Crush Lasting Color Eyeshadow. It's the shade 9, and this is what it looks like. It looks white, but it's actually got a lot of like pale gold shimmer. I'm gonna show how it looks. And on one eye I'm gonna use this, and on the other eye I'm gonna use a different shadow. I'm going to use two different products on both of my eyes just so you can see how easy it is to transform this look into any other kind of smoky eye that you want. So I've just got this on my finger right here, and I'm going to pack it on the very center of my eyelid. So you can see how easily it can transform into any sort of look that you want. And if you want to transform it into a different colored smoky eye altogether, you can use any sort of matte or shimmer eyeshadow to pack on the lid and then blend it out. I'm going to use the Colourpop Stereo eyeshadow with the same brush that I packed on the matte brown. I've just wiped it on a clean tissue. I'm gonna take some of this on the brush, and these shadows also work best if you use them with your fingers, but because I've already got something on my eyelid, I don't really want to use my fingers because my fingers are gonna take off product in the process, and I don't want that happening. So I'm just gonna pack this on my eyelid and do the same motions. with every sort of eyeshadow that you pack on your lid, doesn't matter if it's a cream or a matte, just make sure that you blend the edges really nicely, because otherwise it's gonna stand out too much. And also on the lower lash line. And you can take this eyeshadow on your finger once you have blended it out with the brush, because finger is just gonna intensify the look of this eyeshadow. And then again, when you're blending it out, just make sure that you look down into a mirror like that, because when you do that, your lid space falls really flat and you're not gonna distort anything else in the process. So there we go. I mean, you can leave it at that. This single color is also gonna look really pretty, but if you wanna amp it up even more, I suggest getting a lighter version of the same eyeshadow that you have on. So I have this Miss Claire single baked eyeshadow in the shade 29. It's a really pretty color, and I'm gonna take it on a Real Techniques detailer brush. And when you have some on your brush, just pack it on the very center. So I hope you can see how easily this look can serve as a base for any sort of smoky eye that you want to achieve. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. And also don't forget to click the little bell icon on the side of the subscribe button so that you'll be personally notified every time I post a video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.